Happy Saturday, gorgeous community. My name is Lucy Shah Jahan. For those of you that are new to this community, huge welcome to you. This is about you really claiming your dream relationship instead of sitting in that settling energy, that giving up energy. Like, no, this is about you actually remembering that you are the creatrix of your life and you can have life the way that you want it. It just comes down to us choosing ourselves as the priority. Hey, gorgeous Rosie, speak of the devil. I'm going to be talking about all the cool queens that are in Soul to Soul right now. And I just wanted to let you in on a little bit behind the scenes of the different journeys it's taken for women to arrive at their yes. All right. So Rosie, I'm just going to kick off with you as you're here. So I actually took Rosie's call, and this is how much disbelief Rosie had. You know, when I came on, she was like, wow, I didn't even know that there was going to be someone on the other end of this call. Like, I didn't really know what I was booking in for. And Rosie's from New Zealand. I knew at hello, I'm like, oh my God, she's a soul sister. But there was like this around her heart, major trust issues. When I asked her about, you know, do you want to have a family? It was a very conditional answer. Like, well, I don't know, that depends. And now this woman, holy fucking moly. Like, she grabbed this work with both hands. She is in a completely different stratosphere of energy. She is one of those women, and this is not how it is for every woman. And I'll get to that shortly with other women's entry into Soul to Soul, but she hit the ground running. It's like she got the work. She straight away started implementing and started seeing shifts like right off the bat. And now, as she's literally in her last module, just the energy she's emanating. She came to me in a lot of masculine, major trust issues. You know, have to see it to believe it instead of really sitting in her heart and believing it to see it. And now, oh my goodness, she is consciously creating her life, and she now knows her true power. Like, she was always someone that people had said, oh my God, you're so powerful, we see you. But she was like, everyone tells me that, but I don't feel that. And maybe that's how you feel right now. I mean, I used to get the same thing. I was like, why is everyone telling me I'm so powerful? Like, I didn't believe it. So it's no good with you having magic inside of you, but if you're disconnected to letting that in, then you're just going to be sitting on the sidelines of your life, and you're not going to have the life that you were born to have. Yeah, Rosie, it has completely changed, darling. Like, your entire aura, energy, like your certainty, your conviction. Like, it's so beautiful that you came on for this, because I was going to speak to you and Rosie. I want to share as well, like, transparently, you know, she at the time was closing on a house. So she was sort of like, well, I need to wait till that happens in order to do this. And I'm like, sister, stop putting everything else before you. All right, because you're going to sell your house for a better price, right? The minute you choose you're showing the universe, I matter right now. Like, I am the priority right now. And she understood that. It was a lot for her to kind of calibrate all in this phone call, because this phone call just like totally opened her up. And she was like, oh my God, that phone call, you know. And that's why I encourage you girls to get on a call with our team, because regardless of whether we invite you in or work with you, this phone call is going to be profound for you to get such clarity. And we really want to be able to support you to be able to really get something that's possible for you. So Rosie did end up selling her place a lot faster than she thought. And she then got into action, and she found a way to join us really, really quickly. And so I'm just really celebrating Rosie. You'll get to see her. I know she'll come on and chat about her journey, because she's just a friggin' light beam. Like, this is the cool thing about the work that I get to do. I get to see such quick transformation, to the point where some women come in a bit scared, but then once they get this work, once they start activating the tools and they allow in this level of support, the sky's the limit. And I start to be like so inspired by my clients. And that's where, to me, things get really juicy. And that's what we do on our breakthrough calls. Is we're here to call forward your queen self. We're not here to go, oh, these are all the things wrong with you. Like, we're going to point out where you need to shift. But this is such a healthy paradigm where we truly are calling forward your queen to get your crown on and to move you out of the decades of conditioning, of victimhood and suffering that you've been subscribing to. Rosie's like, absolutely, I received all the abundance I was deserving of the moment I said yes to myself. Yes. And that's what I want you girls to hear, that for as long as you want to put off yourself and to put your house before you or your kids before you or every other thing before you, you just keep sending the same message to the universe. I'm not deserving to be number one yet. Like, I'm still going to play the martyr and make it about everyone else. And you're going to continue to attract in relationships that reflect that. And I did that. I was doing that like clockwork, putting everyone else before me, being this chameleon, jazz hands, you know, people pleasing, wondering, why am I not being the priority in relationships? Duh, I was my last priority. And so that's the power of you actually getting resourceful to go, no, this suffering ends now and my future starts right now. The life that I'm creating starts right now. And it's inside of that yes. And the truth is, you know, many of our clients have to get resourceful, and that's part of a really huge up level for you to actually value yourself enough to get resourceful and to find a way and to be a hell's fucking yes to yourself to do whatever it's going to take. And that is why this is a high touch program and not some $97 or $997 program that you do yourself and that you don't even continue after the second module, right? It has a massive fallout rate for these cheap like programs that aren't actually there where you're being held and supported through this deep, deep journey. So you get what you pay for. You know, when you want to get the best of the best, then you're going to transform at light speed. And that's what this community is about. So I'm going to move on to one of my other queens. Beautiful girl came to us. She wouldn't even let us record the call. She was so terrified of being seen, so terrified of being vulnerable. And she kept wanting to do it her way. You know, she was just like, well, and it was the control freak, but it was more than that, the little girl sabotaging her chance at actually changing her life. So she had like 2 attempts to come on to a call with our team, and she just could not get past even the beginning of letting us record the call. Just so you know, we absolutely record the call because it's such sensitive conversation where we dive really, really deep for you. And it's a very sacred container. And this is about protecting you as much as it's about protecting us, so that no one says, you said this, you said that. So this is very much kept in the vault. But I want to be really transparent that we would not dream of doing a call without recording it because of the nature of this really profound work and conversations that we open up for you. We have women saying, I've never, ever had a conversation like that in my life. So anyway, eventually this beautiful woman kept immersing herself in the testimonials, and she wrote to Charlotte, my assistant, and she's like, look, I want this work. I want what those women in the testimonials have. Is there any way we can do a call without recording it? We're like, no, stop trying to do it your way. This is exactly what needs to shift. It's time for you to be seen. It's time for you to take up space. It's time for you to allow yourself to be supported. Anyway, she got on a call, she got invited in, and then she bailed on herself. She just freaked out. And the cool part about this story is she went away. She could not stop thinking about the call that she had with Marty. And she reached out to Marty. She goes, I'm in, I found the money. I cannot go one more day without doing this. And again, want to be really real with you. When she joined Soul to Soul, what you can hear here is a lot of resistance, right? Like, not everyone comes to us and bounces in. Like, a lot of our women do. But there are some of you where it just takes a few extra steps. But let me tell you something. This woman came in really scared in the first few weeks. She came in at the same time as Rosie. So Rosie took off like lightning, and she was a much slower burn, where this was confronting for her to even be in this community and being so loved on and so held and so supported. And that was really new for her. But our team kept encouraging her. And then she turned a corner and she got out of her own way. And she started flying her own flag and taking up space, and her whole life and energetic life force has completely transformed. And it's like watching an enigma. Like, she now literally, she's finishing the program, same as Rosie. And she's encouraging all the new queens, being like, look, I had a lot of resistance, but this works. Like, you just got to commit. She had a guy chasing her out of a cafe the other day, chasing her down, wanting to date her. Like, that's what changes. These women that come to me, all my women are just beautiful right now. And I know you in this community are so beautiful, but that's irrelevant if you're not connected to your own divinity and to your own self-worth and to your own beautiful light that is unique to you. And just these 2 women that I've spoken about, like especially the second one, I'm just keeping, because Rosie, you're here, I'm mentioning your name, but I'm just keeping names out of the equation, just to keep it a little bit sacred for now. But her whole life has changed. Her whole past that was so heavy in what she'd been through. It was no joke what she came in to shift, and she'd been doing a whole lot of therapy and had not been able to shift it. And it was the support and the space that had her literally cry on a live a few days ago saying, I was just reflecting back on when I first joined this community and how confronting it was for me to experience this level of support and space holding and love. And she's like, I've come so fucking far. I love being seen. I love being supported. I love taking up space. And she was just crying so vulnerably with so much excitement and joy through this live. And that's what's possible for you. And I'm sharing these different stories. We've got 2 other queens right now, both who just happen to be from the UK, who when they came to us was so incredibly numb. One of them, Ruth, and I've already talked publicly about Ruth, so I'll mention her name. Ruth came to us. This was a record, but we sent Ruth away 3 times. And we invited her in on the 4th. And talk about right there, totally inspiring with a woman that's not going to give up. She has 2 children. She had major scarcity. She was super, super numb. And our team loved her from the first call, but we just couldn't reach her. There was just no way anyone was going to be let in. And so she's someone that really benefited from the numbing series. So if you're kind of relating to Ruth's story, then reach out to Charlotte, get yourself the numbing series. This is only for you if you're really serious. And whether or not you work with us, this numbing series is going to get you present to what is on the line right now and why this needs to change. And I personally curated the numbing series, and it drops you into your heart at a really deep level so that you can see A, what's possible, but B, most importantly, what the actual real tangible consequences are if you don't solve this. Because many of you are in such pretending land and coping mechanisms, and it's fine, it's just going to get better. I'll wait till COVID's over and then I'll deal with my life. And you're just constantly in this holding pattern, waiting to be ready, putting it out, putting your life out there in the future and just kind of saying, oh, the universe will help me. No, the universe is not going to do jack shit. The universe responds to the action that we take, and it's a co-creation. And so, yeah, Ruth right now, my goodness, she, again, like this other beautiful woman I was talking about, when she came in, she took a hot second to actually let herself really absorb the work. And then boom, week 6, right? Not very long. So for Rosie, it was instant. For the last queen I was talking about, it took at least 3 weeks. For Rosie, it took her 6 weeks. And then boom, she's down to, Dreamtown, and she's now inspiring all of the queens coming in. She stepped into her leadership. She shifted the dynamic with her sons. She's sitting in her feminine energy. She's let down all these thousands of bodyguards that were around her heart, and she's really healed her little girl. And so what I want you to hear from this is that everyone's journey is bespoke. You're inside of the collective, but your journey is signature to you. And there's no competition in here. You'll get it when you get it. And that's what's really beautiful is we hold this space for you for 8 weeks, which may not sound like much, but at the level that we play at, the minute you say yes, the minute you hit that vortex, your process starts. And you'll start to feel that huge energetic up level and shift because of the container that's been created. It's like you get pulled up the vibrational scale, and you're hanging out with other women that are ready to fight for their dream, fight for their life, and fight for themselves. So you're putting yourself into this real high frequency container that elevates you, and it's through seeing your other queens' journeys and their vulnerabilities that you then come out of your shell, which is why I don't do private coaching anymore, because this is the fastest trajectory. So another beautiful queen, I said there were 2 British queens that did the numbing series. She got on a call with me, completely guarded, 40 years old, just so shut down. And anyway, sent her away. She then got on a call with another woman in my team, and she sent her away and said, go get the numbing series. And she did. And she came back and she enrolled. And she is just opening up like this beautiful flower, like this rose, just opening. It is like watching magic in real time. It is the biggest gift for me to see how quickly beautiful women just like you are able to shift the trajectory of their lives. And the key word here is support, right? Getting the right support set up in the right structure and the right container where you do have a proven process, which is the masculine, which is the process that's proven, that works. But the feminine is the container that I've personally created and the space that's held within that. I'm in there doing live Q&As. We have a beautiful superstar, rock star healer of over 25 years from the UK, which she's just like the fairy godmother. Everyone's obsessed with her, Rebecca. And it's the level that you're playing at where it's life or death circumstances. So if you're kind of like, how can you change your life in 8 weeks? I want you to re-ask that question, because why would you want to take a year when you can do it in 8 weeks? This is about instant transformation. It's not about the long road and staying as this student forever and ever. It's about you coming into this container of rocket fuel and completely up leveling. And the cool thing about this is you get a massive, massive up level when it comes to your money story and your money consciousness, because we're all just energy. And when you start to vibrate with your own value and your self-worth, you're going to start up leveling. You know, you start getting promotions, money suddenly coming out of the blue, people wanting to pay you more because your whole frequency is up leveled. And that's the same with friendships. If you've been sitting in dead end friendships where everyone's just complaining and it's just like not fuel for the soul, you will start to see those once you come in and do this work. Like, all your friendships are going to up level and the people that you love will come with you. And then you'll let go of the people that are just an absolute heavy dead weight in your life, because you want more than that. You're like, fuck that, that's boring. And you'll see how quickly you move out of that space, because you'll look back and be like, oh my God, like a couple of weeks ago, I was the one complaining. And then you'll come in and do this work. You're like, I got no time for that. I'm here to consciously create my life. So that's what's going on inside of the vortex right now. There are many more stories in there I could share about, but I will come back on and do another live about that. I just wanted to share with you, you know, the different journeys that people have into soul to soul. Oh, there's another beautiful queen that finally joined yesterday. She had a shitload of resistance and spoke to me actually just before I was about to go into hospital to give birth to my baby girl last year. Sorry, the year before, 2019 it was. And we had this very powerful conversation. She wanted to enroll, but she was like, oh, but I need you to be in the program. I was like, you don't actually. I've got it all taken care of. Anyway, she didn't join. She went a whole other year. She finally got back on a call with my team and she's like, nothing has changed. I know this is the work that I need to do. Her trust issues were sky high. And even after going on for another whole year, she was still very much in her way, just finding it really hard to pull the trigger. Anyway, she did pull the trigger, I'm so happy to tell you, and she literally starts today. And so all of these stories, I'm just sharing with you a real cross-section. You'll feel that call within to just go, you know what, I've just got to fucking bite the bullet and invest in myself and say yes to myself and just do it. Because the longer that you sit on the sidelines and you just observe everyone else changing their lives, right? You only have to go watch the testimonials to get a real sense of what this work is. Like, let them share the magic with you. Don't just take it from me. Go immerse yourself in the testimonials, because the amount of transformation, we've had women that wanted to, you know, they've thought about taking their own lives. Like, we've had women that have suffered tremendous sexual abuse. We've had women that have suffered verbal abuse, you know, really horrible relationships, abandonment, trauma, completely numb, eating disorders, major health issues. I mean, I've worked with everyone, major debt issues, huge shame and guilt and all sorts of things, cultural complexities, where you just feel like you're like living with this huge lid on. I've worked with everyone. So none of you stand out to me, just so you know. My capacity is huge. I see you right away at hello. That's my gift, to be able to see where to take you and to call that queen self of you forward. So as far as those of you that have these major trust issues, it's time to give that up and to put your trust into something that you're actually feeling in your heart that you know is right for you. And to realize that all these women who have walked before you, they drew on their courage and they got sick of their way not working. And they were just like, something has to change now. And that is literally all that it takes, right? Not in your head working out, is this the program for me? You already know if this is the program for you. You already know, you can feel it. Then it's about you just doing whatever it's going to take and fighting for yourself the way that you would if your child needed to go to hospital. You wouldn't put anything in the way. If you needed to get heart surgery within the next few days, you wouldn't put anything in the way. You would go and find the resources. You just would. And that's the energy and the attitude that needs to happen if you're serious about shifting over 30 years of conditioning. This is the shortcut. This is like a rocket taking you off of Mars and bringing you down to Earth where you belong. And attracting in a soulmate is your absolute birthright. All we've got to do is really up-level your belief system. We've also got to up-level your identity of how you see yourself in the world and how you actually really see yourself when you look in the mirror, and just being in your body, getting you out of any body shame, and just getting you in this full-blown, deep, loving soulmate relationship with yourself. Because when you commit to that, everything that you desire is going to show up, and so effortlessly it is going to feel like magic. And it's just quantum physics. It's the law of attraction. And so many of my clients come to me and they're like, oh, I can make the law of attraction work in these other ways, but I just can't do it when it comes to love. I was like, well, that's conditional law of attraction. You're not really leveraging the law of attraction, because it needs to be the same in every single area of your life. It can't just be, I'm good at it here, but I'm not good at it there. It's literally operating 24/7. So this is just about you getting out of your own way, allowing yourself to be supported and guided home to the fucking epic, amazing, magnificent, brilliant woman that God, the creator, universe, put breath into. That's you. So if you want the creme de la creme, then reach out to our team, book yourself a call, and let's see if we can help you. Mwah.